Hi guys, welcome back to Occultists Anonymous. As always, sponsored by Roll20, the Onyx Path, and viewers like you. Thank you to our patrons who support us monetarily, let us do cool stuff. I have begun pricing devices for our mics and stuff like that, so we can bump up some more quality stuff as we endeavor to make this a little bit better. Chris, please don't die on us. Thank you to Alan Michael, Alexander, Alex Alexander, oh boy. Algos, Badur, Bernie, Blood Angel, Brandon, Carson, Christian, Danny, Doc, Emanated Prep, Emil, Giovanni, Jack, James, Jenny, John, Josh, Julian, Cat Feathers, Melissa, Michael, Moku, Nova, One True Michael, Perry, Puppeteer, Raymond, Roy Visgrad, Ryan Schmitty, Sebastian Sinna, Stefan Serranis, Terry, The Banty, Thomas, Usuf Samba, Firekeeper, and Zoltan. One more and we hit 45 and the little streamers pop out. Thank you guys for your support. It does mean a lot to us. It kind of astounds us. Well, it astounds me. I won't speak for them. That some of you are...
No, us is accurate.
Oh, yes. But specifically, we have folks who are like, yeah, I'm on episode 11 and, you know, here, take my money. And I'm going, we weren't even good in episode 11. Like, what do you do? You know, we'll take it. Thank you. We appreciate it. We had people in Discord just talking about, oh, yeah, I watched 115 episodes in 1 month. And I'm going, why? Why would you do that to yourself? So thank you guys.
Quarantine, right? Yeah. Social distancing.
Yeah.
I just watched all of Dragon Ball Super in like a week and a half, so I get it.
How many episodes is that?
A lot.
I did all of Ruby in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
I'm sorry.
I like Ruby.
All right, nerds. All right, separate corners. Thank you guys for joining. It really does mean a lot to us. And it's very cool to be able to share our wacky little adventures with you. So, yeah. Cool. So when we last left the Cabal...
Speaking of wacky little adventures.
Indeed. They were flying in to upstate New York. And like any good TV show and or movie, we all of a sudden have that flashback scene of Songbird chatting with Hadramiel and going, okay, listen, I'm about to head up to this place. What can you let me know? What is there to be expected? And maybe this is more of a voiceover as you guys fly along to the sound of the never-ending story theme song. But Hadramiel basically gives you a fairly wry grin and says, okay, so it's a silver ladder emanation realm. So I can't tell you everything. Oh, don't worry. You'll find plenty of angels there that you'll be able to wrestle. Just temper your expectations that they're not going to look like the angels that you normally summon. This is something that you would probably expect anyways. They are different even compared to what I summon and kind of the traditional. I feel like something must have happened with the lie or the transition or just because of where they are. And over time, they've developed kind of like as a separate species almost. They all match and fit each other, but they don't fit normal expectations. But I think you will learn a lot. I know you will learn a lot because this is something that you have not delved into fairly heavily as an in-character. I don't think you've ever summoned a Seraphim. So it's something that will be good. And I think the rest of your Cabal will probably also benefit. It is good for everybody to learn a little bit more about the Aether. They're just a very specific shard of the Aether. And so, bear that in mind. There are wards that have been placed that are tied to space to kind of shield off and protect. And more or less, he tells you that there's basically a secret door kind of aspect to where, like, if you don't know what you're looking for, you'll walk right by it. So he does tell you that you'll probably need to use Mage Sight to find it. And then you will have to... I'm trying to think how he says it. You will have to get past and appease the Guardian that remains there. It's not a guardian in the like smash you with a hammer kind of thing. It's mostly to keep. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. It's silver ladder, not adamantine arrow. The guardian is there more as a helpful advisor to make sure that anybody who ventures forth into the Emanation Realm knows what they're expecting and is at least moderately equipped for the challenge. And like, I'm not even going to have you roll, but Hadramiel is definitely like holding some stuff back in that kind of like classic teacher sense of like, I'm going to prep you for this, but I'm not going to tell you everything. And which also probably is an adamantine arrow thing that Songbird can probably appreciate, but at the same time, I respect
it. I don't like it, but I respect it.
And especially when it's coming from a silver laterite, and you're going, "Hang on, this isn't your thing. This is our thing." Hang on, what? Yeah. So you guys basically fly in towards the end of a walking trail. A bit of forces magic, or some locate object, whatever. I ain't gonna stress. You follow the trail and basically land where Hadramiel had basically kind of told you where to land and to start looking for it. And the pathway that you land at, all five of you, the three of you plus Rose and Network, and it's because we're in August. Was there a 6-month gap? No, we're later. We're in September now, I think.
We're in September. It's not quite Halloween.
Yeah. So leaves have gone, nice and pretty, but they're still there, giving quite a bit of cover and stuff like that. And at the end of the trail, it's got a great look out over, we'll say Lake Placid, for lack of a better thing to look over, and begin the search for it, which, for Songbird, throwing on, the prime site is fairly easy to spot the big barrier that is definitely designed for basically it's a secret door with the key of being a mage. So for you guys, like passively looking, you would actually see it, but once you throw on mage sight, it's like, oh, it's a nice neon sign saying, "Hi guys, here it is." But it definitely goes off the trail and into the brush, and it goes against all the different signs that say, "Hey, please don't disturb the local wildlife," and all that.
Oh, away we go.
After you.
And I think Rose,
we're here to support you, dude.
Well, and I think
like
Rose.
Yeah,
I think Rose is actually totally willing to like get out. Like I feel like Rose shows up with like a small backpack of supplies and like the short khaki shorts and like solid hiking boots. She's like, "Oh yeah, let's do this." Yeah, yeah. Like Rose is for this, especially now that she's gone full Thyrsis. Yeah, So
that's cute.
Oh yes.
Herb.
It's a bit of Raven friend. So Songbird and Rose kind of lead the charge, for lack of a better term, into the underbrush. And there are, I can't remember the term, it's the same stuff you guys use with a pen, but the different little mage spells of this way, come this way, don't deviate off the path, kind of stuff. And you can look and see in the distance, like off of the path, especially if, is anybody else turning on Mage Sight? Okay. The big emphatic nod from Craig. Yeah, Craig especially, you can, Weird can spot these spells that are kind of lurking, and they're lying maps, and some other space spells that would basically, if somebody were to just stumble out in there, would find themselves turned around, lost, and then stumbling back onto the trail and back to civilization, air quote. But you guys are following, kind of the Mirkwood Trail, right? Token reference. It's taken me a little bit, but I finally got one. And moving through this fairly narrow path.
So wondering.
See? I love it. That's pretty great. And following this trail a little bit deeper and deeper into the point where the trail is long gone. You were probably not visible from the trail and probably even from the air as the overhead cover is getting pretty gnarly, and you're getting out from cared for and, kind of stares into the really rough stuff. It's a solid hike. It's about half an hour. Getting to that point where network is going, all right, seriously, can we take a break? Because I need to I need to sit down or something. But there is in the distance a light, a little bit of a fluorescent style light out here in the middle of nowhere. As you guys get a little bit closer, you can see what appears to be the interior corner of a building set up. So it's got the roof attached, the corner, two of the walls, and kind of like wood floor paneling. It looks like a chunk of house or building, and it's just been yanked out and just planted here. And there is an odd figure sitting with feet propped up on a portion of a desk. It kind of looks over at you and kind of perks up and stands up, and immediately you recognize this thing is not normal. The features are kind of exaggerated. There's kind of a large, kind of robust, bulbousy nose, white hair that's kind of sticking up at kind of all different angles, white bushy eyebrows, but it's got a little bit of a cardigan on. It's got a kind of merry eyes going on. The color to the whole figure, though, is very flat. Skin is this kind of peach, and there's this thick, heavy, like black aura around it as it moves. Kind of looks over and waves its hand and with a bit of a Austrian. Make sure I look at my right notes here. Excuse me, a little bit of a German accent. Says, hello!
Hello?
And in case you aren't following along, kids, it's a cartoon Einstein.
Oh, God.
Waves, smiles,
I got that right away.
I appreciate
0% chance Songbird knows who Einstein is.
I don't know. Einstein's kind of up there, man. And welcomes you and motions and pulls out of hammer space a giant chalkboard. New students, come around.
No.
No! That's like your worst.
And he, like I said,
I've had this nightmare.
And notably for Ash and for Network, you both, if you have like your full suite of mage sight on, you can recognize that this is Goche. I'm not going to waste time with a die roll to identify. It appears as Einstein, but it is a Goche of edutainment. I know. Bear with me, Chris.
Yikes.
I'm just gonna reach out and be like, I can make you better at math if he makes us do a math.
Meanwhile,
whatever is necessary.
Just thinking like that might not be something Songbird would aspire to, but
we already have title suggestions of Songbird Goes to Hell. So thanks for that. Yes, we're doing the opening scene of Jurassic Park. Yes, guys, I'm having some fun with this, so just enjoy the ride. But yes, no, Einstein kind of pulls this thing out, and they're in the grass and just kind of amongst the trees and stuff like that. He kind of gets down and starts pushing bushes away. You can see some rickety and kind of beat up like plastic and wood school chairs. They're appropriately adult sized. You're not sitting in the little kindergarten chairs, but he's pulling some brush back and says, come on, sit. And kind of ushers you all in and is smiling. Is everybody doing all right? Did everybody eat today? Is everybody ready to learn?
Yep.
Yes.
Good.
Sorry.
And motions to the chalkboard where a animated little piece of chalk pops up and starts to write on the wall or on the chalkboard and says, Forces Emanation Realm. Safety and guidelines.
If there's a fucking
Gonna pull
sing-along,
out
I'm
and
going
start
home.
taking notes.
What was that, Chris?
If there's a fucking sing-along, Songbird
I
is
won't
going
do that.
home and leaving you guys here.
I won't do that because I will not step on the hollowed ground that is schoolyard rock. Schoolhouse rock. Thank you.
Schoolhouse.
Rock.
No.
Pulling out a notebook, taking notes, like I'm in school.
And basically says, beyond here is the verge. And which, as soon as he says it, you go, this guy doesn't actually know what he's talking about. He's reading off of a script. It is akin to a black hole. And once you step through, you will be within their realm where the laws of physics have fucked off.
Good.
Relativity and all that shit is just wrong.
And how do you feel about that?
I don't care. I'm here to educate on safety guidelines. Notably, and snaps a pointer against the board. Anything that you find within needs to be confronted in absolutes, hesitance, or oh my gosh! And now I'm blanking. Einstein is just going off the script. But yeah, hesitance or middle of the road answers, hedging answers, or anything like that. Wishy-washy is a very good one. Thank you. Is likely to cause confusion amongst the residents. Confusion amongst the residents usually is resolved swiftly.
Violently?
Violence is a human thing. These are elemental forces of power. And if things are not falling into line, they will be forced into line or removed. Yeah, as Dr.
I'm not
says.
violent, just you're
I'm
just
suddenly
gone
reminded
now.
I'm suddenly reminded of visiting the Modrons in D&D.
Keep that. Just keep
You're
that.
not-
Just check that one in the back of your head there. But yeah, yeah. No, I wasn't
I
because
don't know
I
what
couldn't get the
Modrons
words.
are.
Oh, that's fine.
Those
Go
the
ahead.
alien robots?
Go ahead and Google up Modrons and just sit back and enjoy here. Oh no, does Chris not
I
know
met
what
the alien
Modrons are?
robots one time in a game. It was good. Oh yeah, that's them.
Yep. All of existence is completely
One of my
deterministic.
games.
Yeah.
It is
Oh,
not
these guys are
Modrons.
cute.
One of my games had
These guys are
a
cute.
workshop on an island with a bunch of them. We broke one out of a cage and let it loose, and we're just like, should we have done that? Probably not, but
Why not? Make mistakes. That's half the fun of playing TTRPGs. But no, they are not Modrons. I'm not blatantly stealing something. I'm just inspired. Thank you very much.
that's copyrighted, thank you.
Meh. But yes, do not hedge, do not waver, be decisive in all conversation. If you can't give a decisive answer, do not give an answer or take your time. It is better to wait than to, which brings us to second step. Time is inconsistent going in and out of the emanation realm. Actions within the emanation realm seem to add time to your visit, while mere conversation or study does not. So the more that you do within a study in the like looking at, just observation, I guess, does not, but actual actions, movement, force, momentum, anything of that nature causes time to move forward. Third note. Oh my gosh. My contact is out to kill me. Oh God.
We're playing super hot.
Shut up. Third note. God damn it. At
Fuck
least
yes.
wait until the session is over to call me out on my shit. Third note. The entities within are genderless and do not care about gender or sex or anything of that nature. And they are effectively elemental raw forces. They don't get emotion. So guard your own and don't respond to what you think might be a jibe or insult. They're probably just stating a fact. And like collapses the little pointer down as the little chalk just kind of does a little dance next to the board and says,
Is there going to be a quiz?
Practical application.
Okay. I think it's swim. That's okay.
Yup. And so burning, soaking, blowing, rocking. Yeah, basically. So very well. Do you all feel properly prepared? And to which you hear Network go, no. But we'll do
Decisive.
this.
It's fine. But just remember, rule number 1 says, do what Songbird would do.
Don't.
No middle of the road, just do it. Just do the thing. Rule number 2, all right, kind of contradicts that a little bit, but we'll get there.
Or, well, you can hesitate. Give a decisive answer.
Mm-hmm.
Better to do nothing than be uncertain.
I'm not going to go insane in here, am I? This is like all Force has gone crazy. Force has gone wild in here, so like I'm not going to like lose my mind, am I? I'm looking at Songbird and asking.
That's probably a good point. Let's see. Instant duration scale. That should cover it. Just do this.
What are you doing?
I'm going to give you all Force's sight for while we're in here.
I don't know if that would help me.
It absolutely will.
Right. I mean, at least it lets you see and understand. It's just, not intuitive.
I don't remember what that spell was called.
Isn't it shared sight in SOS?
It is. There we go. I got it. Any other? Oh, it does cost mana, though.
Mm-hmm. Per target?
Per arcana, per subject. Yep.
I just want to be...
Okay.
I can't increase your actual attributes. I can make you better at, like, academics, but I don't think...
You can do it. Attributes.
It doesn't seem very academic.
Not academics. Science, however, possibly. You were muted there, Chris.
Oh, no. I can increase your attributes. It's Mind 3, Augment Mind.
Mm-hmm.
Is Mind 2
Not
to
sure
do
how
skills?
long I've been
Just
muted.
for the most recent second. But yeah, no, augment mind plus augment skills, those pair, yeah, Drifter was all set for. I am now super brainy and very good at using a gun. Oh, unless the additional arcanum is one of the caster's ruling arcana. It would not cost you mana.
Wait, what?
The middle paragraph. This spell costs 1 mana per arcanum per subject unless the additional arcanum is one of the caster's ruling arcana.
Are we likely to get in trouble in here?
I mean, potentially as likely as any other place.
Weird asking Songbird.
Actually, roll int plus occult, Craig.
Sure.
Weird.
That's a really weirdly written spell.
It is.
I want to increase our int by 2, I think.
Cool.
I mean, I like it now that I've read it a couple times because it doesn't assume that an Abrimos is casting a prime spell.
Mm-hmm.
And so many of the spells are written that way.
Yep. So yeah, weird.
Especially in the old death area.
Yeah. For weird, that like messing with the supernal beings in here is especially after your study of wisdom. Like these are symbols of things, but they're not in the supernal. They're here. So there is a similar like, hey, I'm removing this thing from existence, but it doesn't necessarily have the same kind of lingering effects as if you were actually in the supernal realm messing with shit.
Right.
But yeah, you could still, destabilize and mess shit up if you got like really wacky. Because the emanation realms, like the frontiers of them are fine, but the farther deep you get, the weirder things get, and the more supernal they get, to the point that nobody has ever actually charted the back of an emanation realm.
Okay.
Out of character, Science Sorcery says at the center of it is a link to the supernal, and mages don't come back from that.
Okay, so for this spell, I'm queuing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
For yantras, can I get an environmental yantra for casting it in
a school with Einstein?
Entertainment Einstein's classroom? Yeah. Would that be a 1?
Yes. No, it's a 2 because it's from the Temenos.
Okay, so if I'm using High Speech, my Soulstone, and Einstein, that's 6. I don't think I have any negatives. Because it's 1 point of an attribute per potency, and it's a potency spell. Mm-hmm. I'm at mind 4, it's a mind 3 spell. I have 2, yeah? Is that how that works?
No, your potency is flat out your mind. So you have 4 potency. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. My reaches were instant, scale, and duration to make it last the whole scene. So that would be 2 more reach to actually make it go above 5 for any of you, but I'm not going to overreach that far. Sure. So does this look great?
Got a long way to go to get me to 5 in.
Just before you start casting any spells, if anyone's going to cast any spells, like, we can do it from a domain.
Well, you can do it from a domain.
Did it.
Yeah, it's like, but I mean, let's be honest. +1 reach isn't like, you ain't going to stress anybody. But yeah, I know, because you're thinking about co-location, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm just gonna roll list them. I'm not using my shadow name because it's not really a thing for me, I don't think.
Now, the one thing I will mention is just with the base advanced reach, advanced duration, you're only going to have it for an hour / a scene. So if you go in there for a while, it will eventually fall off.
Okay, so
-2 will make it last for a day.
Yeah, and then I'll have the 6 on my Hunter bonus because I'll be at a minus.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just decrease this number by 1.
Mm-hmm.
So 8. and that'll be
8.
2 paradox dice.
12.
Yeah, 12.
Did I do that wrong? 12. But yeah, I'm not doing a mana to stop that paradox, so.
Okay.
Paradox.
Go ahead, roll.
Nothing.
Okay.
Remember when you guys used to be
12.
scared of paradox?
Jesus. 12 die, 3 successes, but okay.
We'll take those. Cool.
A win's a win.
Average-ish.
Yep. And with,
You all get,
plus 4 int.
yeah, you all get 4 ints up to 5.
So Songbird actually
Songbird
has
just looks
5.
over.
Somewhere's at 5.
Most everybody,
what
I
has
think,
she
at this
done
point
to
is
me?
5. And then you
What have
realize
you done to me?
Songbird knows exactly what you've done because he has 5 intelligence. But yes, you are all brainy motherfuckers. And then, Weird, what are you working up there?
I'm working up a miracle.
Okay.
You're like worried about this and stuff, huh?
Yeah, a little.
Why?
Just hasty vice and things like that. So I just want to make sure that we're covered.
Roll one,
you
weird.
need to be hasty,
Be
though.
decisive.
Sure.
That's what they told us. Yeah.
I'm just going to be stacking the deck in our favor. Unless you'd rather not do that. I'll give you the option.
I was just teasing you.
Okay. So Titus is in the sanctum. Because
What
I would
time
have
is
wanted a
it?
warp beacon to get out.
That's true.
Yeah.
Asking him or Judd to hang out in the Rookery. Yeah.
All right. So we're in the sanctum.
Or effectively, you can cast from. Yeah.
So I can cast from the sanctum. So that's +1 for the +1 reach effect, the +2 reach effect, advanced scale, advanced duration. -6 for extra potency, -4 for duration, so I get a week on it. Do you want my Yantra's high speed shadow name? Because this is right in my bailiwick. I'm using a cabal mate and a blood sacrifice. I will cut my palm and bleed.
Okay. Blood sacrifice means you need to take a point of lethal damage. Okay. Yeah. So it's more of a
It's worse than
you
just
cut
cutting your palm.
arm.
That's like,
Yeah.
yeah. You're just going to slash your arm very badly.
Yes. Yeah. So that, if I do that right, did I do that right? Yep. So 10 and 10, so I get 12 dice.
Yep.
I'll take it.
Cool. And just in case anybody missed that, Craig did say advanced scale.
Everybody has 8 intercessions.
What's an intercession do again?
You can take a success from somebody else's die pool if it's affecting you. You can add 1 to your die pool. And you have 8 of them just sort of floating around for the next week as a potential.
And you can spend more than one at a time, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
but not for the same effect. So no spending 8 intercessions to give
Okay.
yourself 8 successes. It's
You can
a
take
nudge.
one from them and add one to you at once, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like with Asshole, I spent 1 to increase my successes by 1 and 1 to reduce his successes by 1 to force a reroll. So that's fine. I just can't apply more than 1 per thing I'm modifying.
Yeah, because I don't want somebody, because technically Weird could go, I give myself 12 miracles and I can, add 12 successes to whatever I roll. And I'm like, let's leave miracle be that nudge, because it is fate.
Mhm.
You're not making something happen, you're just nudging it into place. So cool. Yeah, to which network goes, I don't need this. This is
So yeah, and it's network and Rose too.
right, because advanced scale. So yeah.
Yeah.
Songbird, you can
No,
change fate.
Gnosis plus life
Literally.
to heal Weird's arm up and gaze disapprovingly at her.
I'm gonna say no.
Well, I don't think you really have time to react to her.
Just gonna reach over and grab your arm and heal it.
Let's maybe save that for, I don't know.
When we're fighting the angels, maybe.
There's only one lethal wound.
Yeah.
How many did you got? 7?
Yeah. I got 6 left, I suppose.
How many did Mammoth take when a werewolf hit him once?
8.
Quite a few. So, yeah, meanwhile, Rose is like eyes wide, like, oh, this is cool. And like, you guys are setting such an example for a normal outing of mages. But yeah, Einstein cuts back to, so you all are prepped and ready.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, very well. And walks to what had previously just been more forest, and just grabs the large red curtain, the red velvet curtain, and draws it back, and you see more forest. He says, after you all, everybody stay safe, come back and, report back if you've learned anything interesting. And he gives a big like head shake, like he does not actually give a damn. And then
it's in the script, so he has to say it.
Yep. Yeah. There's little vibes of like, this Goche is stuck here, but he's safe and healthy because he has something that actually generates resonance for him. But otherwise, he's just like, well, this is the dead end day job. All right. Yep. But yeah, and so kind of lets you guys nudge on forward. As you guys move in, it takes maybe 2 or 3 steps beyond that curtain that I guess only Songbird would have like that immediate like, oh, hey, as you feel like you've crossing into the barrier of the verge. Nobody else has, right? Nobody else has Forces magic?
Yeah,
well, everyone's got Forces sight now.
Right, yes. But yeah, no, notably, without the Forces magic, like I don't think you like feel that attunement to it, but you can probably see it. And yeah, where everything starts to take on it's more subtle at first, but as you continue deeper, the shapes and patterns of the forest, of the leaves, of the little critters that you see take on more regular shape, and regular in like the mathematical term where things get faceted. The trees go from being nice and round to very small facet edges, and
polygons.
Yes.
We're slowly transitioning into pixel art.
Sort of. I appreciate you going there instead of Minecraft, because Minecraft is blocks, but this stuff is more crystalline and shapes like that. Everything is still soft to the touch. Well, not soft to the touch, but everything feels as it should. But the shapes are growing in odd little designs more than anything. You do see occasionally in the distance odd little animals. Well, odd normal stuff that you would see in upstate New York, squirrels and things of that nature. And even they have, and that's where you really get the, oh, that's straight out of like a 1990s video game, like where their arms are like, segmented limbs and stuff like that. Very, very Lara Croft-esque, original Lara Croft, to be clear.
Petals for hands.
Right, yes. As you move forward, and the sun is still plenty up, because if I remember correctly, you guys left mid-afternoon, if I remember correctly. So sun is up, so you can see, and in the distance, and kind of drawing, especially, like I said, Songbird, like the center of the Emanation Realm, there's a spot where it's really, really dark. Well, actually, no, it's not really dark. There is a lensing effect go full interstellar, seeing around this thing. It almost looks like space magic, except, Weird can confirm. Nope, not space magic. That is just a fucking itty bitty black hole that is just lensing the light around it. Just intense levels of gravity.
What does my Force's Eyes say about this thing?
It says that it is a fucking black hole.
What does throwing a rock at it do?
The rock hits that, that edge and then it disappears into the void of, sucking light.
All right, well, let's not go that way.
To reiterate, Einstein says the black hole is the entrance.
Oh, that is the thing.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. All right.
I don't.
Here we go.
I know what black holes. I don't want to be spaghettified.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking.
I mean, I can just turn you into spaghetti.
I would rather not.
All right, well, let's go in the black hole then.
Is this would this be an iris?
A iris is, yes, for lack of a better term. The iris is the catch-all term for a portal. Mm-hmm.
Okay. But it reads like a black hole.
Visually, it appears to be a black hole. Mm-hmm.
Is it possible to open it up?
I mean, it is open. As far as Einstein, said.
I'm going in. Decisive.
Good. So yeah, Songbird.
I lean and fall backwards in while flicking off Weird and tell her to be decisive.
So Songbird, do me a favor. Roll a stamina plus athletics roll, -3.
Okay.
I'm bad at that.
I think I'm going to scrutinize this and see if there's another way to open it instead of just leaping into a black hole.
The
One
diagrams.
success.
I don't want to.
Like you feel a compression and that's kind of and then you are just through.
Well, specifically, I fall on my back.
Well, we'll talk about where you. But
what's on the other end?
You hit an edge and you're just. Whoop.
Okay.
Notably, for the rest of you guys, being, especially as Atratus says, I don't want to be spaghettified. You watch as Songbird approaches that barrier, but there's no lensings. He is there, and then he is just not. In a literal second. Well, probably less. Or if we keep making video game references in a single frame, he's just gone.
This is 30 or 60 FPS?
Oh, we're playing at 120. Nerds!
Yeah, if it's athletics stamina -3, I would be rolling 1.
Can we scrutinize this to get a better understanding of it?
What are you going to scrutinize it with?
Space.
Okay.
Seems like it would be appropriate.
Sure.
Do you want to? Can you share with me the opacity?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Actually, yeah, it's 2. It's 2 because it is space. Yeah. Yeah. Once you pointed out that it's an iris, yeah, it's 2.
Yeah, gnosis in space, right?
Yep. And then spend mana if you want, freebie successes. All right, 3. Cool, and then reveal. Freaking 7 successes on 9 dice. Yep, Weird's back. It very, very quickly, this is, especially with your new level of intelligence, this is a Einstein-Rosenberg bridge. No, it's a black hole but it is at the reverse that, back it up a step. There is a black hole, and it is in the center of a sphere, basically, that is the iris.
Okay.
It more or less, you know. Actually, no. That's all you know for now.
So,
Or actually, to put it a different way, the entrance to the Emanation Realm is on the event horizon of this black hole.
So I'm reading this as this is a wormhole that leads where it's supposed to go.
Fuck it.
Is
And
there-
network.
We're not
walks-
actually going into the black hole. Yeah,
No, the iris is right on the event horizon.
on the edge. Yeah.
Yeah. I expect it's going to be uncomfortable, however. Passing through, so.
Nothing we can really
Brace
do about it,
yourself.
huh?
And network just, as I'm talking, network just fucking leaps in.
Well, once you say, you know, that it's the, you know, the edge of it, yeah, he's like, all right, screw it, let's try this. You know, we didn't hear Songbird screaming on the way in, so I'm sure it's fine. This logic does not, no. Let's see, I just want to double check. Wow, he has a bit more than I thought, though he is still rolling a chance die. Oh, okay, perfect.
Oh, Jesus. Did you kill Network?
And then Jimmy Smalls was lost forever.
So you watch as, you know, Jimmy kind of does the same thing, kind of waves at you guys, and you see pain across his face, and like you watch as his body kind of clenches, and you can see like his shoulders and his arms kind of press in kind of heavily against the sides of him, and then he's gone.
Would break boundary allow us to pass through this without going through the uncomfortable part?
No, because there's no boundary here.
Okay.
I feel like this is just part of the trial to get in. Like,
All right.
It is a unfortunate side effect to it, yeah.
yeah. I don't think we can get around it. So I guess I'm
To
rolling
put
one.
it another way, to jump into the pool, you're going to get wet. And you're rolling an actual one or a chance die?
I have 3 stamina, 1 athletics.
Okay, so an actual one.
Don't forget your intercessions.
That's true.
That's true. I will spend 1.
Okay, so you get a success, and so yeah, similar to similar to Songbird, there's this tight pressure, and then whoop, you're through.
You said strength and athletics?
Stamina.
And I can't remember what Rose has got, so we're going to say she's probably the same ballpark as Travis and roll 1. And similarly... Yeah.
I'll spend an intercession.
Intercession. You guys all watched what happened to Network and went, no. So, you all kind of walk through. Who's the last person to go through? Weird or Travis?
I think weird.
Okay.
Almost
Yeah, I
certainly.
would have. Yeah.
Just
Okay. So you all kind of look over and see as, you know, Weird kind of steps through, and Weird before you is the most, well, for all of you, but, you know, Weird's the last one to arrive, is
the most fucked up reality I've ever seen.
It's a bizarre tableau of absolutely sharp angles. Everything is kind of regular shape, regular as in like even and squared.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily square though, but everything is of geometric perfection. Everything is lined up, and there is no life as you know it. Everything is flat planes of color, but they're planes of force. There's an enormous slab that you seem to be on that stretches for infinity, occasionally interrupted by shapes and almost structures. Nothing that resembles necessarily a house, but there are conglomerations of shapes that appear to be a thing. And then whirling through the air and moving about you are polyhedrons. Tetrahedrons and octahedrons and all sorts of various three-dimensional shapes. D&D friends at home, go ahead and bust out your dice and just look at them. Yep. Things like that.
Various dice.
Things like that. And I mean, we're getting also into like the wackier ones, just to throw.
But not D10s.
There are definitely some duodecahedrons. But like.
Those are 12s.
That's dodecahedrons, isn't it?
Dodecahedrons are 12s, yeah.
Yeah.
D10s are not platonic shapes.
Ah, shit. Fuck. Okay, well, that's fine. That's true. But yes, absolutely, like the classic shapes, pyramids, and square pyramids and things like that. But also, if you want to look one up, just because it's a wacky shape, a pentagonal icos. I'm just going to put this one. Icosahedron, yeah. So all sorts of weird kind of indentation stuff. I'll drop this one in. Thank you. And don't worry, Twitch chat, I got you. There you go. Yes. So all sorts of very wacky indentations and shapes and stuff like that. And Songbird, you've been standing here for, probably a minute more than everybody else. And, your mage sight tells you that all these flying shapes are angels.
Cool.
That's cool.
Now,
fate, time, sight, mage sight. I'm assuming fate is like a railway track. Yep. Figuratively speaking.
Well, pretty close. With
there's probabilities. That's math and forces.
Some different shapes and stuff like that. But yeah, nowhere near the sprawl. And I think if you looked at even regular supernal beings with fate sight, they have very, very few differences. Yes.
So real quick, out of character question. This is not a lower depth in which one of the Arcana are missing, correct? Okay.
No, correct.
So we can assuage Craig's fears a little bit from that.
This place, and notably, because Tratus has matter sight, there's no air here. Like there appears to be, there's no oxygen or gas or nitrogen or any of the normal combination of gases that would make.
Do you think that's air you're breathing?
Exactly.
How are we breathing?
It appears to be air, capital A, lowercase IR. It is like the scientific. Okay, yeah. So there's some air here. There's some kind of gas in the place. The thing you are
idea of air,
right? The thing you are standing on is the floor. This is ground. This place is reduced down to absolute scientific, like, bare minimums. Notably, as you guys are sitting here and kind of, wow, what is this, and kind of enjoying, you watch as a trio of tetrahedrons fly in kind of a formation towards a perfect cube that flies along, and the three of them fly by, and you watch as lightning just emerges out of them and strikes the the square.
Cube.
I get there eventually. Cube, thank you. Dude, I have so many of these. I was going over them all in my head. I really shouldn't have. I should just use the Google reference. Anyways, gets struck by the lightning. It wobbles, turns, and, begins to follow, and gouts of just warping in the air, which with your guys, everybody's forces sight is just raw heat, just emits off of this thing, and you watch as the tetrahedrons kind of like shake and start to like come apart at the edges, as these angels seem to be doing combat or something akin to it. As you guys,
they tried to smite it and it burned them,
and it lashed back.
Cool.
Yep. As you guys are kind of looking, and I'm going to put, emotions in your guys' heads, but with a little bit of trepidation and going, hang on. And again, probably not.
I think these will kill us.
Yeah, I think so too. Was it like the normal random forking of lightning, or was it like a laser beam?
It was like the forking of
okay.
And so it comes, strikes the three of them, but it is not a perfect beam of light.
So there is still randomness around. Okay, so that's cool. I can play with that.
I mean, it's the probably ideal lightning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is what do you see when you think lightning?
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. Versus, and again, it is lightning and from the elemental storm side of things. Now, there's possibly something out here that has high heat lasers. Actually, that's probably what the cube did, rather than the invisible heat. But it's just all sorts of just, well, you watch those fly by, and like I said, in the distance, you see other stuff that aren't necessarily fighting, but in this particular case, and floating towards you comes a sphere, perfectly round, of the, like a blue teal kind of color, and oh my god, translucent, so you can kind of see through it a little bit, and it just floats towards you, and you hear something akin to a voice, but it sounds more like a series of crystal chimes being done in such perfect order and frequency, and just it emanates a welcome to my best attempt.
GLaDOS.
Not quite that bad, but yes.
Yeah,
forward.
I got the fluent high speech, so
I have got to take you to an Arcadia Emanation Realm.
We're gonna get revenge later. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's like my skin is crawling. This is just so wrong.
Customary greetings.
There is there's no obvious expression or emoting. The color doesn't shift with its emotions or anything like that. But there is a pleasant little chime, and it says, I think it pretty straightforward. What is it you seek?
We come to study and to possibly acquire materials.
There's a pair of chimes. The first is, very, again, welcoming and cheery. The second is a little bit more discordant, and it comes with materials. Possibly.
Metals that have been influenced by the supernal.
There is another little ring of, cheer, and the sphere turns around, just 180s, and starts to move away.
You said, did you say sphere or seer?
Sphere.
Okay, you must have cut out just for a second there, because oh, shit.
I'm gonna follow it.
Mm-hmm.
It's following us. Cool. I was looking at you guys.
Yeah, and if you guys all, start to move, you guys kind of move as, a cluster, following behind it. At one point, another, full, fleet of, itty-bitty little pyramids, not barely, actually have no 3 dimension. You can just happen to see they're just a flat, and just swoop by almost bird-like. In this perfect little formation.
Triangles.
Yeah.
Flat pyramids.
Yep. Thank you.
I
was thinking, do they have depth or not? Go ahead.
I'm assuming the higher rank ones are the more complex structures. That would make sense. These are little baby angels.
Actually,
Pretty
I
safe.
think with your forces site, I think you recognize them as rank 0 supernal beings.
Mhm.
You know, these things that just are but have no real intelligence. But yes, as the sphere that you seem to be talking to seems to be like. Actually, yeah, I'm just not going to tell you unless you cast a spell. But it definitely has at least intelligence, obviously, and it just happily just leads along, and the plane of force continues, like I said, out to infinity. But it approaches one of these big kind of it almost looks like a very modern art building where it's got this chunk and then this one turned at an angle to it and kind of offset, and each of the individual shapes to it are perfect and square and neat and tidy, but they're not set up into a perfect verticals, except that the pattern repeats. So you have almost like I think actually, since you have enough time to look at it, you realize it's almost like a wave graph, like a sound wave or something like that, turned on its side, and so you have this tall, chunk kind of thing, and there is a doorway that appears as the sphere approaches, and the doorway is a sphere as it kind of slides in, and then, as I mentioned, Songbird it comes down and shrinks, and it is about like a nice little outline for you to walk through. You look like little man off of a restaurant sign, or restroom sign, or a do not walk sign, and so it's a little bit of an awkward fit as you just kind of fit in.
It's like that. It's like that game show.
Yes,
yeah.
It is exactly like the game show. And so, you just kind of fit through, and inside appears to be, actually, to use the game show reference, it looks like somebody's mock-up of like a hotel lobby. Big, heavy air quotes. Like everything is flat. There's no decor. There is a desk. It has a phone on it. Everything is, using the video game reference, super low poly. Like there's no details to anything. There's no texture to everything. Everything is smooth. And the sphere just kind of floats and says, "Will you be staying with the other guests?"
There are other guests.
There are other guests.
Do we have to?
No. Was that?
I'm gonna say that to Songbird.
I didn't hear what you said. You kind of broke up.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Would you like to?
Sure. We'll meet our neighbors, right?
Correct answer, because I was going to say yes.
This is the part where I play Welcome to Hotel California. No, so the sphere, again, a little affirmative chime, and it moves back around behind the desk. And there's another series of it is a cascade, not quite like dial-up modem sound in that screeching sound, but it is a just blitz of chiming
data
sounds. Yes. And it's just a blitz of sound as it just rings, and you can hear it kind of resonating up through the building. Notably, the room that you are in has the desk, the chair. There's a chair behind the desk, the phone, and then a door, with a split in the middle that looks much like an elevator. The elevator opens. Says, and the little chime effect, says, "Make yourself at home."
Real fast. Would I have enough time while that's going on to be able to cast Tune In and understand what the tune did? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, depending on your yantras, but yeah, probably.
I mean, nothing.
Yeah, so then yes.
Understand its beeps and bops.
Cool. Yeah, very, very quickly, you were just assaulted by data. Roll intellect, because you had that. Plus, what kind of skill do you think you would use to try and parse just raw data being thrown at Songbird's brain? Academics, computer science, all three of those are good. I can't think. Let me pull up another character sheet. Academics, computer science.
Well, the spell itself translates it into something she can understand.
Oh, okay.
Like, because I can cast it on like TV signal or a cell phone signal and just have it in my brain and understand it.
Okay, in that case.
Now, if you're going for this is so complex that you also need to roll, I'm cool with that too.
It is, but I was leaning on the translate side. But since you don't need to do that, give me a. I think we're gonna do resolve plus composure as you just try and survive a deluge of information. Cool.
2 successes.
Not a problem. It, like I said, it is a deluge of information, and very quickly, 5 intellect. Songbird goes, okay, I can ignore a lot of this because you start to get exact mathematical proportions and shapes of everybody in the group.
Oh god.
So yeah, you like, let me plug this into a supercomputer and get everybody's shape.
So basically we've been translated into high polygon figures.
Yes. Color, texture, and like, I think Songbird starts like, what is this? And you start to get the detail of your hair and you go, nope. Too much. Nope. Every single hair.
Back out.
Yep. And so you kind of
Weird's hair is like 17 gigs.
Yes. That's true. I should have called that weird. I apologize. But you quickly start to parse and be like, okay, what's important? And basically it is this big data dump of these are our new guests. And it just is sent up through this building. And then the elevator opens.
Cool. We go.
Network and Rose, more than happy to go along, and like Network leans in and goes, did anybody actually get that? Because I didn't have universal language up.
Yeah, I got it. It's our data.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's
adding us to the system, I think, is what was going on.
Okay, sure. Yeah. And you guys kind of
or
move
to see
in.
the other guests.
And there is a little chime from the sphere, and the elevator doors close. Inside, you see a probably pretty enormous list, and you have that moment of realizing, did I ever see the top of this building? And the answer being, it kind of disappeared into infinity. And yeah, it is an enormous list, and every little button has a different like value and bit of script on it. Yes, Chris.
Sort of push them all.
What are you doing?
I think that's a want to,
I
but
don't.
isn't.
I'm just saying I want to.
Okay.
But yes, you definitely, and they are listed by floor. So start at 1, moving all the way down. Weirdly, at the very bottom is a giant down arrow, like you would see like at the bottom of a computer page, and experimentally somebody pushes it, and the whole shit, and they all scroll to another section.
Next page.
And now you have a little arrow on the top and a little arrow on the bottom.
Oh my god.
That said,
which one was ours?
Going back to that, the various labels are scripts written out in high speech, which the first ones you read as rooms from a hotel. Lobby is the very first one, obviously. Dining hall, pool, gym, conference room, like anything that you would see in a stereotypical hotel are listed.
Gift shop.
Sure. Then beyond that, you have rooms, and they have names in them. And you guys can read them, and you recognize them as shadow names. But what they actually are, I mean, one could assume they are rooms, but what is actually in there, you would have to guess. Scrolling through, has
Hadramiel been here before? He said yes.
Mm-hmm. He had.
Is there a way for me to quick parse this list to find Hadramiel's name?
Because this thing is, fuck it. On the left side of the thing is a search bar. Because fuck it.
I mean, I was gonna go with Forces magic to just kind of
press the button
hit
that
the
is
right button.
right. Yeah, but yeah, no, I like the search bar better. But yeah, you put in Hadramiel in high speech, and the whole thing collapses down to 3 buttons. All 3 say Hadramiel, and they all seem to be the same persona that your Hadramiel has. So it's not an English to high speech translation issue. Craig,
hang on, just because I'm curious, look up Songbird.
Songbird.
There is a room labeled Songbird.
And Atratus.
Because we checked in.
Mm-hmm.
We have rooms now. I assume Hadramiel's been
what's
here
in
3
our
times.
And yes, only one.
Yeah. I assume multiple visits is multiple rooms.
Mm-hmm. Seems likely.
Or perhaps different parties, or
Want to go to our rooms first, or someone else, or theirs?
Let's do that.
Okay,
Our
which room
service.
do you go to?
Do we want to split up and go to our own rooms?
Oh, I was gonna. I'll hit mine, and then I think Songbird is assuming that we all have a room together.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I will probably be surprised to the difference.
Yeah, Songbird, you hit the button, and there's a shift of the elevator, which again, you guys have Forces Sight, and so I'm just going to lean on that. So you feel like you went from 0 to the speed of light and back.
That sounds about right.
Yep. And it was like, what was that? There's a little disorientation as your human bodies go.
Okay, that hurt.
Right. Oh, everybody give hugs for Songbird in the chat. For Chris specifically.
Not in person.
Yeah.
Can you do like inertial dampers or something? Because that's going to get really uncomfortable if that keeps happening.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, and it is, within, because it's magic, it's like,
Sure.
oh, okay. Because it's a
I mean,
nanosecond.
I assume the elevator is those dampeners, since why we didn't just get liquefied twice.
Yeah. That's true, going up and
Songbird
down.
carefully explains this to you.
With 5 intelligence. But yes, the door opens and you find yourself in more or less a standard hotel room. And actually, since I have you here, in Songbird's estimation, what is a normal hotel room? And I imagine it's probably a little bit tied to your past experiences, especially with, the MMA stuff. So you've probably got a bit of a suite going on.
Yep. Lots of marble and like white bed sheets and big fluffy comforter. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it is all that.
It's nice.
In low
like
polygon.
Vegas suite. Oh, cool.
It's low polygon, and standing in the kitchenette is low polygon Songbird, who turns, waves a hand, and there's a little chime. Hello.
Hello.
Make yourself at home.
Okay. What are you?
It doesn't answer. It just kind of stares a little bit blankly at you.
I'd like to cast a Forces Knowing at this thing, or maybe Prime and Forces work together.
Actually, yeah, that's probably pretty effective. Yeah.
To basically just answer what the fuck is this?
Okay. And leaning heavily on the forces side of this, it is a recording of your physical attributes. Basically, we'll say a compressed version of you. There's no mind. Yeah,
Zip Songbird.
There's no no mind attached to it, no memories attached to it that you can tell. It has a very flat personality. But yeah. And yeah, like I said, waves a hand and welcome.
Okay. I'm gonna flop on the low poly bed and see how comfortable it is.
Very comfortable. Odd shapes to it, but yeah, no, this feels exactly like a really nice, feather, mattress and, the full works. What is the rest of the cabal? What are you guys doing?
It kind of creeped out. So like by the door, like
weird. I want to go take a selfie with low poly me.
Do you guys, bail and leave Songbird, or more specifically Songbird, do you just chill there? Because if Tritus is headed that way.
I guess come back and get me in a second.
I don't really want to split up here, just because this is highly bizarre. Also, Songbird is our only person who does forces.
That's
in
fair.
Forces land.
I'll not take a nap.
Yeah. Do you want to talk to it? It doesn't seem to have, because I have mind sight. It doesn't have intelligence.
Zero mind.
Yeah, it's just a placeholder, kind of.
I mean, placeholder, digital construct of this is a person.
Spy.
I mean, this is Songbird stole 12 watermelons, out of a, math problem version of a person. Lex Luthor stole 12 cakes. That's terrible. Yeah.
40 cakes.
40 cakes. Thank you.
It's 4 10s, and that's terrible.
I appreciate that,
yeah.
that it was recognized.
Super Dictionary is very good.
This place is.
Everything you said just cut off.
Nope. Now you muted yourself.
You're muted.
This place is fucking weird.
Yeah, I want to know what the purpose of this is, but I don't know if I have any arcana that can tell me that, because it's not a spirit, a Goche, or a ghost. So it's made with forces. I mean, I can scrutinize it, but again, I don't think I have any arcana that's suitable for this.
And determining it's one of the actually it's going to be like, if you targeted the whole building, you're gonna have a problem with scale, but targeting the room, or even one of the low poly doppelgangers, for lack of a better term, with I think it's Craftsman's Eye with matter.
Oh yeah.
Which tells you the purpose of a tool. Because in this case, that's basically what these things are. They are tools. Craftsman's Eye? Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Understanding of the, intended function. Yep.
Sounds good. Yeah, I want to cast it on the thing. The doppelganger.
Cool.
2, right? Or 3? The 1 matter spell.
Yeah, I mean, you can throw Gnosis at matter and call it good. Yeah.
Yeah.
because technically it's a buff on yourself. So all you have to do is examine a thing. So technically, actually, scale doesn't matter.
2 successes.
Cool. So looking at it, it is a door of an example of a human. And it's humanity's infinite variations. Wait, sorry, because you're casting this on Songbird, right?
Casting this on the Songbird doppelganger.
Yeah. So your study of it, because like I said, the spell is actually cast on you, so you study the Songbird, and it comes up as this is an example of the infinite variations of humanity.
I think I see her do that and reach out and just touch the wall and activate my
legacy
attainment.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have reach because I didn't queue it up as an actual spell.
Mm-hmm.
The +2 reach option lets you tell all potential uses found out in a vast array of supernal symbols around the object.
Gotcha.
And then with a wits roll, you can focus on a specific one.
For especially complex items, yeah. And like I said, you have the free reach for it because you have the 4 matter. Because you could do that instant and the +2 reach, so not a problem. It comes up with very few uses, but basically it's an example for. But it's basically an example of a person. And then you could plug it into a simulation.
Okay.
Or, if you needed that for some reason. Songbird because Craftsman Eye is one of your legacy attainments, right? Does it have any differences? I can't remember.
They usually do, don't they? Like some sort of little tweak to it.
Sometimes, yeah, and I couldn't remember because Forge Master stuff felt like there was something. It may have been the optional attainment, so I'll just double check. That way, I don't deny Songbird any extra little goodies. Songbird.obj, yeah, pretty accurate.
Mm-hmm. Songbird.rtj. Well, it might actually not work. Because it's number of questions about a visible enhanced item, imbued item, or artifact equal to is Dotson Prime.
Okay, yeah. So in this particular case, because it is a magical thing, I'm cool with it working because it's not an imbued item, but it is a thing of magic. And yeah, the room that you were in basically comes back as basically it is the magical equivalent of a folder with data in it.
Who made it?
The Overmind.
More or less, yeah. You come back with like, I think it gives you a headache, and basically you come back with a like supernal, like a rank 8 supernal entity
symbol
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You go, ow, nosebleed. Okay, got it. No, the God Machine did not make it. Yes, Drew made it. Thank you, Noctal. Yes. The Exarch of Stories. Yes, appreciate that.
It's like rolling a nat 20 on your perception check and
realizing that you're standing
around a table. Yeah.
But yeah, and I think actually that's a good spot for us to pause because it's 7:27. That way Chris can get tea. So good stuff. Thank you all for joining us. We will see where this goes here in the future as they explore the Emanation Realm and its absolute wacky weirdness that I am very pleased with. I was very happy with this. And this is also totally not what this place was originally when it was introduced. So I'm glad we delayed this because it previously was just a bunch of toga wearing angels flapping around with wings, and it's boring. This is so much more
Boring.
interesting. Don't worry, the opportunity to wrestle the angels is still on the docket. So
Gotta fight the Zappy boys.
Yep. So yes, thank you guys for joining us. As always, if you want to chat with us, outside of Twitch chat, come by Discord. That is yeetinto.space. I highly suggest it for everybody. It's great. There's no spoilers, and it's helpful. And yes, we do have a chat. It is literally for asking questions about how does this work and how do I play. It is okay for absolute newbie questions. Bring it on. We're here for you. And if you want to support us monetarily, come by Patreon, patreon.com/occultistsanonymous or staylucky.club, and come check out some of the extra little stuff we've got, like Network's character sheet is over there and stuff like that. YouTube guys, we'll see you on Friday. Twitch guys, we'll be right back after this break.
Stay lucky.